Greetings and welcome to our latest channel news update video. We have a fair bit to cover today with what's going on with the channel and what's coming up in the future. In particular, we have a new series that we're going to start working on that we need a little bit of community support with, and of course the polls are now open to select a new Modders Challenge for the second episode of the Morrowind Modders Challenge. But first things first, I want to go over a review of the videos released in April. There's really no denying that April was kind of a disappointing month, honestly, and I know there's still a few days left in April, and we're going to have episode 49 of Morrowind Modding Showcases and episode 3 of Oblivion Modding Showcases released in those few days, but we didn't get out near the number of videos I wanted to. Our total for this month, including the last few videos in the next couple of days, will probably be about 12 videos for the entire month, well short of our 20 video a month target. A large part of the problem was episode 48 of Morrowind Modding Showcases. The Haladu theme didn't work out quite as well as I had hoped. There's not as many Haladu themed mods as you might expect. The problem was made even worse by the fact that one of the mods turned out to be a compilation mod. And that included two other mods from the original mod lineup, so we had to find an additional two mods to take their place. And overall, it was a very frustrating experience, and this meant we spent an entire 2 weeks working on mainly one video instead of the other large videos I'd originally planned to do at the same time. So yeah, not a great month, but with any luck, May will be a bit better. And having said that though, we did get the first pilot episode of the Morrowind Modders Challenge released to the public, including the first official mod in the series of Dungeons and Abodes, available for download today from the Nexus, Great House of Liberty, the Simulation Lab, and the Elder Scrolls Alliance. And of course, now that the first episode and first mod have been released, that means it's time for you guys to challenge me to make a mod for the second episode of the Morrowind Modders Challenge. Now, we've already gathered a ton of challenges that were submitted and created a new poll where you can vote for your favourite challenge to become a real mod in our next episode. You can see the poll here, and there's actually a link in the video description where you can go vote, as you might expect. Now, you can actually submit new challenges with this poll by selecting the other option and, typing in your challenge, but, just keep in mind that it's highly unlikely to hit the required number of votes at this sort of late stage, but, regardless, all the challenges that don't make it this time around will be used in the next poll for the third episode of the Morrowind Modders Challenge, so it won't exactly go entirely to waste. And currently, one of the Fargoth challenges is winning for whatever reason. And whichever challenge that has the most votes by the end of Friday, April the 29th, will become the mod we'll attempt to make for the second episode. And I do have a pretty good name for a Fargoth mod picked out, but hopefully you guys will be all Fargoth out by the third episode. So, anyway, next up, and continuing with our modding related theme, I do have an announcement to make. May 1st we'll see the start of the second annual Morrowind Modathon Month competition. Now, most of you are probably already familiar with our competition last year, which saw 15 new mods produced by some 13 modders over the course of a month-long competition to make mods for Morrowind. But for those of you who missed the first round, don't worry, we'll have an announcement video out in the next few days detailing how to participate and what the rules are. Once again, we have a massive stack of prizes to give away, and the winners of Modathon Month can expect custom-made mod banners made by Michael Dark, and of course, video features here on the channel. It's really quite exciting to have this event again this year, celebrating Morrowind's 14th birthday, and I really hope a lot of you join up and participate in the Modathon. Morrowind is such a fantastic game that I really can't think of any better way of celebrating its anniversary than by modding it to make it even better. And hopefully many of you will take up the construction set in honor of Morrowind's 14th year and do just that. And speaking of May, let's take a look at our planned schedule for video releases over the next month. As I mentioned before, the plan is to get episode 49 of Morrowind Modding Showcases and episode 3 of Oblivion Modding Showcases out in the remainder of this month. So that means we're pushing back episode 50 of Morrowind Modding Showcases and the Symphony episode into May, and yes, those are both still coming down the pipeline. And in addition to all of that, we'll also have the 4th episode of Let's Mod Morrowind, and you may have noticed we actually have some stock footage from that episode here in the background. So yes, it is coming, probably in the first week of May, but we'll have to see about that. And I'm also planning to have the 4th episode of Oblivion Modding Showcases released in May as well. I want to get that series on a regular track to help give the Oblivion modding community some extra attention, since, you know, it needs it. And also we'll have the 51st episode of Morrowind Modding Showcases released sometime over that month as well. In addition, we also have the Morrowind Modathon videos getting released in May, which basically amounts to 3 videos a week. These are small showcase videos to the 3 randomly selected winners for each showcase of the Modathon to, you know, sort of celebrate and show off their mods. And we'll also have the 2nd and 3rd episodes of Morrowind Modding Manners released in May, one of the 2 series that were picked up by our Patreon subscribers, along with at least a few modder interviews, I hope. I've sent out a lot of messages to try and get a few more modders signed up for interviews, and ideally we'll start seeing more interview releases on the channel pretty soon, at least I really hope so. And, oh yes, and of course there'll be a few more episodes of Morrowind Modding trailers and Oblivion House Mod Hunters as well, and with any luck we'll finally hit that 20 videos a month target in May. So now, since I've just mentioned the 50th episode of Morrowind Modding Showcases, it seems like everyone wants me to do something special for that episode. So I'm certainly open to hearing any suggestions you guys might have on that front. Someone actually suggested that I do a Morrowind Modding interview, where I'm the one being interviewed, and a ton of names were recommended for who should be doing the hosting job for that. And so, being the indecisive swit that I am, I made a poll for the recommended interviewers for you guys to vote on. And whoever you select, I suppose, will be the host for my special 50th episode anniversary interview. I have to say, I'm not really that keen on the whole idea. It's one thing to be the interviewer, and quite another to be the interviewed. But we'll see how it goes, and you can find a link to that poll down in the video description below. And of course, if you have any other ideas for how to celebrate the 50th episode anniversary of Morrowind Modding Showcases, do post them in the comments, and I'll be sure to check those out. Now, moving on, next up we have our channel feature, and this time around we actually don't have a YouTube channel, but rather a Twitch stream that I'd really like to highlight. LondonRook, otherwise known as the Ink Bunny, a very talented modder that most of you are probably familiar with from Dramatic Vivek, has started a pretty massive modding project in the vein of Dramatic Vivek called Project Outlander, with the goal of expanding upon and overhauling many of the often overlooked cities of Morrowind and adding in tons of new areas and locations to visit with hundreds of new handcrafted models to add to Morrowind's aesthetics. And best of all, he's streaming the creation of all this 5 days a week, which you can go and watch, and they typically last several hours. So if you enjoy watching video footage of people modding Morrowind with audio commentary, this is a really easy recommendation, and since it's a Twitch stream, you can even participate through the chat room, you know, offering suggestions, providing feedback, and talking with other viewers. It really is just a fantastic format, and if you want to watch LondonRook live, he's on the air every Monday through Friday, and his show starts at 12 PM noon on the East Coast, or 6 PM if you're in the UK, 7 PM if you're in Central Europe, or 9 AM if you're on the West Coast. Or if you just like to watch old broadcasts, you'll find a complete archive of past videos on LondonRook's Twitch profile, and there's hours upon hours of content here, showing off the creation of a number of absolutely fantastic environments. So if you're the type of person who enjoys listening and watching someone else mod, while at the same time, you know, modding yourself, this is an absolutely amazing resource for you, and I can't recommend it enough. I mean, an episode of Let's Mod Morrowind takes a really long time to make, and LondonRook is producing these practically every day. It's really quite astounding and definitely worth a watch. So, you know, head on over and check out some of his videos, or better yet, you know, catch some of his live streams and join in with the commentary. There's really just so much potential here with this format, and it's really fantastic to see something like this in the community. Anyway, next up on the agenda, we have a new video series we'll be working on over the next few months called Morrowind Mods for Skyrim players. The goal of this series is to provide a list of Morrowind mods in a variety of categories to help transition those poor in-walls into Morrowind with minimal frustrations and burnouts. Our first episode will be focusing on gameplay mods to make the Morrowind experience easier and more refined for newcomers, and I'm looking to hear your suggestions about what gameplay mods to include on this list. I already have a couple of dozen I'm planning to include, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything important, so I want to crowdsource for recommendations as much as possible. So if you know of a good gameplay mod that makes the game a bit easier or helps ease players in, please post it below in the comments section. And naturally, we're just looking for gameplay mods at this point. I do plan to do episodes dedicated to immersion and graphics mods eventually, but I want the first episode to be all about making the Morrowind gameplay experience easier on Skyrim players. So I'm really only looking for recommendations along those lines at this point. So, just let me know your thoughts on that and what mods you'd recommend, and we can get those included in the first episode of that series. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is a quick update on the equipment situation with getting everything upgraded for improved Morrowind performance. Based on your recommendations from the last video, it is starting to look like building a new computer may be my best bet, and an early estimation of hardware costs suggests it'll be in the realm of about $800 or so. So, to just, sort of make sure that we get all the right parts for optimized performance and all that. So, yeah, that'll take a while, I'm not gonna lie. It won't be anytime soon. I wouldn't expect a whole lot of progress on that front for quite a while at least. But I'll keep you all informed if there's any updates on the equipment front. And finally, the last thing I want to mention here real quick is mainly for the Patreon subscribers. Basically, the next batch of pilot episodes for the Patreon Rewards program will be out sometime around May 5th through May 8th. And there's going to be a bit of a delay this month because I need to get all the video work for Morrowind Modathon Month finished first, along with a backlog of other videos. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, you should expect to find 2 new Morrowind related series and an Oblivion related series crossing your dashboard in early May. And alright, I think that wraps up everything for this channel news video. As always, thank you so much for your continued support of this channel, and with any luck, May will be a fantastic month for new videos and new mods on the channel, and I really hope you all take the time to participate in this year's Morrowind Modathon Month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later this week with the next episode of Morrowind Modding Showcases.